Hey guys, this is Bruce, and today we're going to talk about another position. This is actually one I have zero experience with. I've worked with people who do this, but I've never personally done this. I can't really speak on a lot of this. I'm just going to go ahead and read you the description, and we'll see if this even fits into our purview. Well, first off, what is it? It's a senior advanced test engineer in Scottsdale, Arizona. Before we start, if you happen to be an employer and you want to get the word out on a new position, let me know. I'll put my contact information below. If you happen to be somebody looking for a position and wondering how in the world does Bruce have all of these leads? How does he have all these opportunities? I'm not getting all these opportunities. I have a course that tells you exactly how I've been able to do this, how I'm able to get a floodgate of people contacting me, from recruiters to actual companies to actually even consulting gigs. I'll put it in this site right here. Now it is paid, but I do have some free stuff there, so you can actually enroll for free if you like and get access to that free stuff that I've uploaded there. But also I've got a couple paid courses. They're not expensive. Just check them out. One is how to get into cybersecurity, make six figures, and then the other one, which I've been able to do more than once, and the other one is for remote positions. I happen to love working remotely, and I've been able to work remotely on several occasions, and I tell you how I did that. Cheap video series walks you through how I did it step by step, and once you have that information, you'll see how I'm getting all of these, and you'll have a floodgate of all of these opportunities as well. Some of them will fit your job description and some of them will not, but the more opportunities that people float your way, you'll find the more that you'll be able to pick through like little bits of gold out of all of that. You'll find diamonds in the rough is what I'm trying to say. Okay, let's get into this. Okay, we have a new opening for a senior advanced test engineer in Scottsdale, Arizona. Like I said, I don't know a lot about test engineers. I've worked with them before in mission systems, but I personally have never done it. I have done things for them, but I don't know. I know that they have like a checklist of things that they have to check whenever a system is about to go live, before it goes live. Anyway, this is an on-site permanent position, and it's $130,000 in salary. It is with a relocation assistance, but they're expecting you to have an active top secret clearance and to be considered testing experience with hardware RF, which is radio frequency, SIGINT systems is required. So this is very specialized. Like, I know some guys who have this kind of experience. There's not many. There's not many guys in the comm world that have it, but there's people who have it. If you happen to be one of them, this could be for you. I'm going to put all the contact information for these guys below in the description box. Let's see. For immediate consideration, please go directly to this position. Let's just go ahead and go to this position and read it a little bit. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because this is outside of what I do. So I'll just quickly, we kind of already went through some of the, basic qualifications: bachelor's degree in engineering or related specialized fields, plus 8 years of experience, or a master's degree with 6 years minimum experience. So this is a very high level person. I know people who have this exact experience, by the way. Clearance. Well, this is where it gets crazy. Like, this is where it gets a little more rare. They are expecting you to have a top secret clearance with a CI polygraph is required at the time of hire. So they'll give you a top secret clearance and then you have to get a polygraph. I'm not sure. Applicants selected with this will be subjected to a U.S. government security investigation and must be eligible for. Yeah, because not everybody can get this. This is one of those clearances that are so big that they're so detailed, so deep that, I mean, they're gonna look at your entire history of your life. And then I've had some of this. I never had the CI polygraph, but the TS stuff, wow. So they interviewed people who I worked by, like my neighbors. They interviewed my neighbors. They went across the street and they interviewed my neighbors. And the reason I knew is because my neighbors told me that an investigator came to his house and asked him questions about what I do. They talked to some of my relatives. They talked to some of my friends. I know this because my friends and my relatives contacted me and they say, hey, some FBI guy came to the house, an investigator, because they contract these investigators out. Like, they're not FBI, they're like agents that are investigators that get asked questions and then they give that information back to, it's not FBI, it's like, I don't know what they're called, but that's their whole job, is to just do nothing but investigate people. And that data goes up to the U.S. government, and then they determine whether or not you could. They also look at your finances. They want to know if a foreign agency, if you owe money to a foreign government, if you've ever worked with a foreign government, if you have any ties with foreigners, they want to know about it. Not that you'll be disqualified, but they want to know, like, if that person who you're associated with, like your wife, is a foreigner, they're gonna want to know that that wife is not associated with any kind of organizations or governments that are hostile to the U.S. government. That may affect your clearance. There's so many different things, and it's. I know a friend of mine had a CI polygraph, and he said it was so intense that he said he will never work for another agency that asks for that again, because they ask all kinds of very intrusive questions that are trying to. It feels like entrapment, kind of like criminal, asking you whether you've ever like stole from a Blockbuster video or something, and then if have you ever stole anything else, and asking real crazy sexual questions and like personal life questions, and then asking questions based off of interviews they've done with other people in your life. I mean, just crazy stuff. And he actually said he'll never ever work for an agency again with it. I don't know, maybe you've had a different experience with polygraph, you've never had it before. Anyway, let's go ahead and read a few of these, and it's with General Dynamics Mission Systems, and they're asking you to be a senior system test engineer. And let's just go right into the duties and tasks. System test engineer will perform hardware integration, software integration, and test of an RF SIGINT system. Yeah, I know somebody who did this, and I used to work with them a lot. So what they would do is, these were the guys who, after the software and the hardware system was all put into place, right? It was like for a mission system that does things. And so the system's good. We've already worked on the security features. The patches are in. Then this other guy comes in. This is the system test engineer comes in, and he tests whether or not it works properly in accordance with whatever requirements that the customer had. The customer says, we want this much, it should go this fast, the visuals on the screen should look like this, we should get the telemetry data, it should look like this, it should have manuals to allow the operators to go through the system, all the menus should work in the drop down, you should be able to highlight things, like there's certain requirements that the customer is expecting to see, and this is where the system test engineer comes in. They want to know that it works as promised, and that's kind of stuff that they do. And specifically, this guy has to know software integration. He's going to test that. He's going to test the RF and SIGINT. It seems like that's the main thing. Okay, anyway, the next one is system test engineer will perform testing, problem troubleshooting, data analysis. They want to know that the data is good. That's very important. And technical evaluation of the antennas. Making sure the data is going through, how the antenna is connected. SATCOM server, power RF. This sounds familiar, actually. I may have done this. I may even know what this system is. Oh man, holy crap. Anyway, system test engineer will work with the system design, manufacturing, and production test teams to ensure acceptance test. That's what it was called, acceptance test, because the acceptance test basically was they would run all the data through, make sure everything's good. They would even have the operators sit down in front of the system, make sure that everything is as planned, and then they'd be going by their manual, checking, making sure everything had to line up. The system test engineer will perform troubleshooting and root cause correction. Like if there's a problem, they wouldn't necessarily halt the whole system. It's been a while. They wouldn't halt the system operations necessarily. Some of the troubleshooting could be done on the spot. Like let's say there's a flickering that happens every now and then, but it's still operational, but the screen is flickering, right? So they know that maybe there's a cord that needs to be replaced. So they'll just mark it down and say, okay, root cause analysis, the problem is the screen's flickering, and then the root cause we think is a cable in the back, DB9 cable, it needs to be replaced with a different one. And that wouldn't necessarily end the whole thing, but there were some things that could end everything. Like if the telemetry data was off, or like if there was some important data from the SATCOM data that's off, like it's not accurate, boom, that's it. No, we got to go back to this point and figure out why this data is jacked up, because that's going to halt everything, you know. So they would go back to this starting point, and that would cost X amount of dollars, you know. Okay, so let me just kind of skim through this. 25% travel, that's kind of important to know. Be versatile and agile. This program moves fast and change direction. Man, it sounds so familiar, guys. So familiar. Mobile ground antenna. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop reading this one. If you want information on this one, if you're interested, if you happen to be a senior advanced test engineer that knows how to do SATCOM, then go ahead and check out the contact information below. And if you're interested in knowing how I'm able to get all of these crazy opportunities, some of which have nothing to do with me or my career path, but the more the merrier, you can check out my courses up there. And that's it for this one. See you guys on the next one.